want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. Where in Scripture does it talk about the healing herbs, and what is the proper time and place to use them? Now, I'm going to come at this question from a somewhat interesting perspective. I don't know if you're aware, but I grew up in the home of a pharmacist. And not only a pharmacist, but a pharmacist who was a believer not only in Jesus Christ, but in Scripture. And one of the things that I have become convinced of throughout time is that God has given us the creation in order for the purpose of what we know as healing, whether that be an herb or substance, medicinal properties, whatever it may be. All that being said, when it comes to Scripture, really the first time you hear about herbs being utilized in a healing process is in Exodus chapter 12, when it regards to the Passover. And it's not really a true medicinal passage. It's really more of a representative passage. Then you go into Ezekiel, and it talks about herbs in the Babylonian captivity and all that. Really, your Proverbs and your Psalms, there'll be just verses here and verses there. At the end of the day, again, I don't see anywhere in Scripture where certain herbs, certain plants, certain times, certain seasons are to be utilized for certain purposes. Here's what I do find, is I find that God has given us what we need for what we struggle with. For example, just in the world of medicine alone, I want you to know, I could not be more grateful and thankful for what we know as anesthesia. Well, anesthesia, there are some natural means and there are some what we might call man-made chemical bases that can do such. All that being said, we know that God has given us what we need to do things that regard healing and such. So again, yes, there are some scriptural passages, but there's no real formula, so to speak, as far as what we might call a biblical prescription for an over-the-counter biblical methodology and such. But the Bible does affirm that there are creative properties, i.e. herbs and such, that bring us physical healing while we wait on our ultimate physical healing in a new resurrected body. Great question. If you have one, send to AskJeff.net. Maybe your question be tomorrow's. Thank you so much for being a part of our daily question here at the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. I want to encourage you on a few things. Number one, if you have a question to ask, submit it to AskJeff.net. Eventually, we'll get around to your question. Secondly, we'd encourage you to subscribe. That way, each and every day, Monday through Friday, you get a reminder of our question of the day. And last but not least, I want to remind you that on Wednesday evenings, live at First Baptist Church of Opelika, fbcopelika.com, we do a solid hour of Ask Jeff where we dig into the questions more than just 60 or 90 seconds. Sometimes we take the entire hour. All that being said, AskJeff.net is where you submit a question to this channel each and every day, Monday through Friday.